following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, the latest on the hiring of a new police chief for the city of Colchester after months of uncertainty for residents.
Plus, damage to a Macomb business after a driver lost control and ran into the building.
Plus, temperatures are warmer than last week, but is it here to stay? Storm Team 3, Jared Streeter, has a look at your weather ahead. News 3 Live at 4 starts now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin with breaking news into our newsroom from Western Illinois University. WIU Interim President Martin Abraham says the student involved with placing the reported racist sign has been found. Good afternoon. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Mackenzie Irby.
And I'm Devin Brooks. We reported last Tuesday about the reported racist sign found in a computer lab on campus. Dr. Abraham says the student has been referred to student rights and responsibilities for behavior and conduct. In a response, Abraham said, in addition to expressing my appreciation to UTEC and OPS personnel, I especially want to thank the student who brought this forward. He continued to say hate has no home at WIU. Prejudice, bigotry, and harassment are not tolerated, end quote. News 3 reached out to University Relations on the identity of the student, but they declined to comment.
After more than 2 months of discussion and uncertainty involving the Colchester Police Department, the police chief position has been filled. That's
right. This comes after ongoing meetings looking at whether to keep the department or contract out with the McDonough County Sheriff's Office. Monday night, Officer Michael DeWitt was sworn in as police chief. DeWitt has been with the department for more than a year and a half. Mayor Welch says DeWitt's position will be part-time for a 6-month probationary period. DeWitt says he hopes to hire more officers and get things back on track.
I'm honored to be somebody who is considered for selection. I'm just going to do the best I can, and we're going to try and move forward.
DeWitt also hopes to add more officers to patrol during the daytime hours. Currently, there is only one other officer besides DeWitt.
Police are continuing to investigate what caused a mother to shoot and kill her son. The shooting happened in Warren County in rural Little York. Police were responding to a domestic dispute at the residence of Sandra. Once on the scene, Jesse Porter was found with a gunshot wound. He was later pronounced dead at the scene. Police say Porter was shot by his 71-year-old mother. Warren County Police are continuing to investigate. No charges have been filed at this time.
A Macomb business is closed indefinitely following a car crashing into its building Thursday afternoon. It happened just after 4 on Thursday afternoon. A 17-year-old Macomb resident crashed his car through the front of Snap Fitness at the corner of Calhoun and Campbell Street after police say he lost control of the vehicle. No injuries were reported, but as you can see on your screen, a tremendous amount of water was coming out of the building due to the accident. Macomb Police Deputy Chief Dave Burnham says that the cause of all that water came from a water line inside the gym.
It ended up severing one of the water lines that was inside. Apparently they had come through that particular wall, so that's where all the water came from.
Macomb police say Snap Fitness will be closed for the foreseeable future until the damage at the gym is repaired. 3
pets are dead following a mobile home fire in Macomb. Macomb Fire Chief J.R. Hyde says crews responded around 4:30 p.m. to a fire in the Dairy Mobile Home Park located at 1500 block of East Jackson Street. No one was home during the fire, but 2 cats and a dog died. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. And students were able to give their winter coats a break this afternoon as temperatures continue to rise, but the wind might bring the coats back. Storm Team 3, Jared Streeter, has a look at your weather. Jared, how are things looking right now?
Temperatures outside are a lot better than what we've been seeing over the past few days. Right now, temperatures are sitting right around 46 degrees. The winds, however, are a little bit brisk at about 9 miles an hour out of the northwest. As we head into the next few days, though, we're going to experience some nicer temperatures. As you can see on my screen here, we do have a jet that's starting to move over the area, and it's going to start to bring some of the warmer temperatures from the southwest up towards our area as this low pressure system that we see forming over Colorado moves towards us. That is going to bring us some rain, however, but the warmer temperatures are going to be here for the next few days. I'll have more on that when we come back.
All right, we'll see you later, Jared. The Macomb School Board met last night to discuss a new foreign exchange student program. Macomb School Superintendent Patrick Toomey says a professor at WIU and a teacher at a school in China proposed an exchange program for students in Macomb to be able to go to school for a semester in China and students from China to go to school to Macomb High School. Toomey believes this would be a great opportunity for the students, but more work needs to be done before this program can be put into place.
On the surface, we think it could be a tremendous opportunity for our kids. But I'll need to work with the professor. We need a lot more details than we have right now, and particularly on the cost analysis side.
The board will look to further discuss the exchange program during next month's scheduled meeting.
And campaign season is underway for the 2020 elections, and candidates are making a pitch to voters.
We're going to go to this story first. Along East Jackson Street in Macomb near Walmart, you might have noticed construction on the former Ponderosa Steakhouse building. News 3's Emma Horry explains who is moving in and how this business plans to work for decades in Macomb.
Almost everyone can recognize a coffee cup with the logo of a green mermaid.
Well, I'm not even a coffee drinker, and I go to Starbucks. You know, I go for tea. They have great pastries.
Soon, the city of Macomb will be home to the well-known coffee shop, but the planning didn't happen overnight.
It's probably been a little under 10 years on trying to get Starbucks to develop in Macomb as a standalone, drive up all of the rewards.
For years, Macomb Development Director Kim Pierce says that this business plan has been brewing. The international coffee chain was waiting for the perfect opportunity within the city. The Starbucks project has nearly been a decade planned for Macomb, but plans had fallen through with the previous developer.
We have always been chasing Starbucks, whether it was in Vegas at an International Council of Shopping Centers or Chicago at Navy Pier for an ICSC deal-making event.
Pierce says that the 6,000 square foot building won't be the only place to grab a latte or a cup of tea, for more business will be sharing the space.
So you've got Verizon that's going to be what I call the front of the building facing East Jackson Street. Then you've got the middle that's going to be vacant, and then Starbucks is going to be on that north end, which is going to be looking at Walmart.
Nearly 5 years after Ponderosa Steakhouse closed their doors, Pierce says she's excited the city is filling a storefront with something residents of Macomb want.
It's great for us as a community, as far as economic development. We want to see those buildings filled. We want to see sales tax being paid.
Reporting from News 3, I'm Emma Horry.
The new Starbucks is expected to open the beginning of February.
And campaign season is underway for the 2020 elections, and candidates are out making their pitch to voters. Scott Stoll of Rushville had a meet and greet with voters in Macomb Saturday. Stoll is running as a Democrat in the upcoming 2020 elections. He lived in Rushville for more than 10 years and has 3 daughters with his wife. Stoll has been an alderman in Rushville for the past 2 years. He says there are several changes he's hoping to make into getting into office.
I think that there's an opportunity here in our district to make a very positive change for all of the residents as far as healthcare is concerned, education, and economic development.
Stoll's official campaign announcement will be made this Saturday in Rushville. Coming up after the break, police are calling it a miracle on ice. Find out how state troopers saved one woman's life.
But first, the latest from Capitol Hill from another day of impeachment hearings. We'll have the latest from the witnesses. That and more when Live at 4 returns.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong.
taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back to solid ground, taking me home, taking me home. Bring me back, I can hear the sound.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. The first public presidential impeachment hearings in more than 20 years continues today. Lawmakers are set to hear testimony from 4 witnesses, some of those who were on the infamous phone call between 2 world leaders. Karen Kafa is in Washington with the latest.
Without hesitation, I knew that I had to report this to the White House counsel.
Day 3 of the public impeachment hearings, and the first 2 witnesses aren't holding back when it comes to how they felt about that July 25th phone call between President Donald Trump and Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky.
I found the July 25th phone call unusual because, in contrast to other presidential calls I had observed, it involved discussion of what appeared to be a domestic political matter.
It was improper for the president to request to demand an investigation into a political opponent, especially a foreign power.
A theme of the Republican defense of President Trump was that witnesses didn't have firsthand knowledge of the July 25th phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine, dismissing elements of their testimony as hearsay.
You saw 3 diplomats who dislike President Trump's Ukraine policy discussing second-hand and third-hand conversations about their objections with the Trump policy.
But 3 of today's witnesses were on that phone call. Jennifer Williams, a foreign policy aide to Vice President Mike Pence, and from the National Security Council, Timothy Morrison and Alexander Vindman, who told lawmakers in his closed-door testimony that he reported concerns about the call within hours and was later told not to discuss it with anyone. On Capitol Hill, I'm Karen Kafa.
Thousands of cases of cottage cheese have been recalled because they may be contaminated with metal and plastic pieces. Kraft Heinz Food Company says the recall involves 3 types of its Breakstone cottage cheese. The company says it's received 6 complaints from consumers, but no reports of anyone being injured. However, Kraft Heinz says metal or plastic pieces can cause injury to the mouth, teeth, throat, and stomach. The recall affects Breakstone's 2% low-fat large curd cottage cheese, as well as their other small and large curd 4% cottage cheese. Do not eat these products and return them to the store for a refund.
Look at this video. Illinois State Police are calling it a miracle on ice. ISP says on Friday, troopers saved a woman's life. Troopers were changing the woman's tire when a box truck driver lost control on the ice, overturned, and slid off the road. The troopers pulled the woman into the ditch line, allowing the box truck to pass over the top. All 3 escaped uninjured. Officials say the incident serves as a reminder for drivers to take it slow and move over for cars stopped on the shoulder. Jarrett?
Thank you. Although temperatures are going to be lower tonight, around 32 degrees, our temperatures are on the rise, but it is going to be wet conditions. I'll have all that and more when we come back from this break.
Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. Your potential is our purpose. Explore your talents in a place you belong. Western Illinois University is here to serve your future. Large enough to provide opportunities, small enough to connect you to them. You are unique, and we are committed to you. Become the future you at WIU Quad Cities.
Welcome back and good afternoon, Macomb. Temperatures outside right around 46 degrees. Winds are about 9 miles per hour in the northwest. Humidity right around 81%. Dew point about 40 degrees. Looking at our average highs this time of year, about 49, so we're right around that area. Our average low this time of year, about 29. Record high, 77 degrees, and our record low, 7 degrees. We're not going to see either of those, fortunately and then unfortunately tonight. Looking at our surface map here, we do have this low pressure system that's got the attention right now. It's going to start to move its way up towards our area, and that's going to bring some of the warmer temperatures. Although with those warmer temperatures, we are going to see some rain and precipitation as we start to head into tomorrow and Thursday. Looking at our radar right now, all the precipitation is starting to move off to the east, and we're not going to be seeing any of that tonight. All the clouds, again, are starting to move out of the area because the high pressure system that's over us right now, which will be replaced with the low pressure as it starts to move its way in. Looking at today's temperatures here in Macomb, that's 46 right now, rather. 46 up in Burlington, 54 down in Quincy, Keokuk. I believe that is a typo, my apologies. 47 in Beardstown. Looking at tonight, Macomb's temperature going to be about 34 degrees, Burlington about 33 degrees, Keokuk 35, and Quincy 35 as well. Looking at tomorrow, our temperatures are going to be up on the rise. 55 degrees here in Macomb, 58 in Beardstown, 60 down in Quincy, 58 in Keokuk, and 55 up in Burlington. Looking at tomorrow night, the temperatures aren't going to drop much. It's 46 degrees in Macomb, 50 down in Beardstown. Quincy, you're going to see temperatures right around 53, and Keokuk about 51. Looking at tonight here in Macomb, it's going to be relatively foggy because our temperatures are going to start to reach that dew point temperatures as well. Low tonight's going to be about 34 degrees. Wind's going to be a little bit more mild, about 5 miles an hour. As we start to look at tomorrow, our high is going to be about 40 degrees. Our high tomorrow is going to be around 55. My apologies. With winds about southeast at 8 miles an hour with the chance of rain tomorrow night, as you can see on this slide. The low tomorrow is going to be about 46 degrees. The wind gust, however, with this rain is going to be about 30 miles an hour, so that could create some issues with visuals if you're driving around with the rain. Looking at our 5-day forecast here, you can start to see the temperatures rise and then drop right back down. Temperatures tomorrow, 47 as a high, low of 34 with a chance of rain. Thursday with a high of 55, low of 46 with the rain on that day as well. Looking at Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 40 and low of 25, and there is a slight chance of snow that night, very slight chance. Saturday, a high of 43, low of 27, and Sunday, a high of 45.
All right, thanks, Jarrett. Weather looking good. All right, what's coming up in sports?
Well, sports is looking all right, too. Coming up next on Live at 4, the high school basketball season is finally here. We'll have highlights from Macomb High's season opener. And we have more ladies on the hardwood. The WIU volleyball team had its senior day and last game of the year on Sunday. We'll tell you how they did. And the final home game for WIU football is Saturday. Find out how that went for them. That's up next in sports.
Rooted in teaching tradition, the desire to impact lives through education marks our Western identity. We believe every student with the hope to succeed deserves a chance at our institution. We're invested in honing each student's individual strengths to turn that hope into promise. Our commitment shows in everything that we do. It guides our faculty with empathy. It grows our students with courage. It moves each of us with purpose. In Macomb and Quad Cities, all walks of life meet to share cultures, ideas, and aspirations. Together, our students welcome new perspectives, helping them bring true value wherever they go next. Whatever the next challenge or change we face, our fighting spirit strengthens and evolves. With fortitude, we remain devoted to our vision. Brave and loyal, we stand as Leathernecks. For our students, for our region, for our state, and beyond. And when we stand together, we stand up for what matters, going forth as one. And that unity takes us far beyond what we've ever imagined.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I'm Michael Diane. The Western Illinois football team's chances of making the playoffs were gone long ago. On Saturday, WIU was looking to play spoiler against Southern Illinois, a Saluki team needing a win to stay on the playoff bubble. It was senior day at Hanson Field for those 13 Leathernecks, the seniors getting honored before the game. And WIU needed a spark down 10-0 in the first quarter. And it would be one of those honored seniors, George Wahi, that would provide it. On a trick play with 3 linemen in front of the senior receiver out to the near side of the field, the senior wideout scored, and it is 10-7 off a 50-plus yard touchdown. Same score at half. Then the Salukis run a double reverse that catches Western's defense flowing the wrong way, and Avante Cox walks into the end zone to make it 17-7. Then the floodgates are wide open. 6 minutes later, Southern running back Javon Williams Jr. makes it 3 scores in 6 minutes for SIU. It's 31-7. But the highlight of the day goes to Dennis Houston. On the fade route to the back of the end zone, Houston goes up and gets it, fighting the whole way for that catch. But that would not spark a comeback for Western, unfortunately. Final score, SIU 45, WIU 21. The Leathernecks are down to 1-10 on the year. They play UNI this Saturday to end the season. And 35 of those 45 points for Southern Illinois came from 2 guys, freshman Javon Williams and senior DJ Davis. The 2 main Saluki backs combined for 345 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown by DJ Davis. Head coach Jared Elliott recognized the talent that his team faced on Saturday.
That's one of the tougher duos to stop in the country. They both have very unique skill sets. Javon Williams is extremely hard to tackle. He's a physical runner, but he's very athletic. He's got great feet. And then DJ Davis has got some serious, top end speed. And if he finds a crease, he's going to hit it in a hurry.
And another senior day occurred this weekend, this time on Sunday for WIU athletics. It was volleyball's turn. A disappointing stretch saw the team miss its goal of the conference tournament, but the Leathernecks could still have a solid end of the season against a really good Denver team. Honored before the game, Riley Schumacher, Mackenzie Steckler, and JoJo Cruz, the seniors for Western Illinois. And early on, it looked really good. The first point of the game comes off a senior Mackenzie Steckler block, and then the fourth point of the game to get Western to a 4-0 run to start was off a Cassie Hunt ace. But that got pulled back. Western would get to 5-0 before Denver would crawl it back 5-4 after the Kayla Forbear kill. At one point, Denver got on a 15-1 run in this game. Western would lose the first set. Tina Bowe gets the kill to start set number 2. Still in set number 2, that is Brianna Green who gives Denver a much bigger lead, and Western would lose the second set 25-17. The game finally comes to an end in the third set off a Mackenzie Steckler blocking error. 25-21, the final in set number 3. Western loses this game 3-0. They end their season 6-23. The Western Illinois women's basketball team had a game on Sunday. They lost to Purdue 66-59. Annabelle Grettinger led the Leathernecks with 22 points. That loss dropped Western Illinois to 3-2 on the season. The next game for the Leathernecks, for the Leatherneck women, is Wednesday at home against Bradley at 5:30 p.m. That is the front half of a double dose of Leatherneck basketball. The back half is the men's team at home against Northern Illinois, something that hasn't happened in 25 years. Tip-off estimated for 7:30. And the start of high school hoops is upon us with Macomb High Thanksgiving Girls Basketball Tournament underway. Last night was day 1, and the Bombers started the season against Pleasant Plains. The community was out for the first Bomber home game of the year. Coach Zach Keene trying to get things started off right with a win. Reagan Emmerich inbounds from down 16-0, and this is the first Bomber points of the season, and it's buried by Reagan again to get the MHS on the board. Later on, it's Ansley Holthaus with a triple from the left wing, still in the second quarter, while MHS was still in this one. Second half, it got away. Sarah Stuffelbeam hits a corner three in the fourth, but that game is long over. Macomb High loses that one, 91-41. Pleasant Plains wins by 50. Finally, two former Leathernecks will be facing off against each other for the Canadian Football League Championship, otherwise known as the Grey Cup. Jalen Ackland and the Hamilton Tiger Cats against Sean McGuire and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That's all for sports. Final word is next.
We are Western Illinois University, and we are amazing.
On Fridays, we wear purple.
We are home to professional athletes and actors, lawmakers, CEOs, a civil rights leader,
and a 3-star general plus over 100,000 other impressive alumni.
Our programs are mighty. Our law enforcement program is the largest in the state of Illinois and is known internationally.
Supply chain management boasts a nearly 100% job placement rating.
And cornfields might surround us, but we have a fine arts program that can rival any large city.
It's okay to take courses in wine tasting, wedding planning,
scuba diving, grain drying, Renaissance art,
engineering computational methods, or advanced federal taxation.
Sometimes our classes even take us to Disney World.
The Apostle Islands, Greece, France, all around the world.
For fun, we spray paint a bulldog statue, race cardboard boats, and shave our heads and dance all night to raise money for charities.
Not only do we paint the paws before homecoming, but we show our love for our mighty mascot, Colonel Rock, with painted statues all over town.
Sometimes we play volleyball with a giant ping ball, and sometimes we play in the mud.
It's totally normal to look at our res hall windows and see a hot air balloon floating by.
or experience all 4 seasons in one day.
Hey alumni, jump on that Amtrak from Chicago or St. Louis or anywhere in between.
And come back to get a horseshoe,
listen to the award-winning Jazz Studio Orchestra,
or tailgate before a D1 game.
Not every school can say they started the 4-year cost guarantee program
and have a second campus on the banks of the mighty Mississippi.
We are Western Illinois University.
And we are the Leathernecks.
Now, despite the loss on Saturday, the Leathernecks made some big plays, one of them getting national recognition by future NFL Hall of Famer Randy Moss.
No, that's Michael Sam, the DB from La Tech. You got Moss. Next play, Southern Illinois versus Western Illinois. The battle of Illinois?
They it's Northern Illinois. I have no idea. But that's a jump ball right there. Dennis Houston leaps up, catches it over Jonathan Thompson. Woo, Jonathan Thompson, you got Moss.
Hey, that last play right there, I've never seen a wide receiver take everything. He took his helmet.
Definitely got Moss. The Leathernecks play their last game of the season on Saturday against the University of Northern Iowa in Iowa. What about that catch, Michael?
Well, the amazing thing about that catch is the sheer level of body control and concentration you need to do that. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome catch.
Well, that's all we have for today.
But we are online all the time.
Stay up to date with us, news3wiu.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search our handle, News3WIU. You can also search for us on YouTube and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
From all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.
Oh, forgot. We used to have a hard